Hi everyone. Thank you. And someone can you please confirm in the chat whether you are able to hear me or not? Okay, awesome. And I'm so excited to kick off the Journey Builder Fundamentals series. I'm so excited to be back with another bootcamp, to be back to be with you all, to spend some time with you all. So I don't know how much you enjoy these sessions. We really enjoy these sessions, conducting these sessions and seeing you all attend these sessions and seeing you getting benefited out of these sessions. And every time someone posts about their achievements on the LinkedIn, about their certifications, about the new things they have learned, it makes us extremely happy. And we realize that these sessions are really been helpful. So it helps us to keep doing these sessions further. So with that, I will talk about this Journey Builder Fundamentals series. So we're going to kick off with the overview of the Journey Builder. Starting with that, we're going to deep dive into the features of the Journey Builder, the out-of-the-box features. So today we are starting with the overview, and then we have a number of sessions already lined up. So before we move on, if anybody doesn't know me, here's a brief overview of myself. I'm a Salesforce MVP and marketing champion and a Golden Hoodie recipient. I'm the founder of the MC Learning Camp and also and co-founder and the organizer of the MC Square and the Bharat Dreaming conferences in India. And here are my LinkedIn and Twitter handles. And this is also the YouTube channel. You can also find the YouTube channel by using @MC Learning Camp. This is the place where all the recordings will be uploaded. All the previous session recordings starting from 2020 onwards, all the sessions have been recorded. It can be about the Marketing Cloud Administrator certification or the developer certification or the consultant certification or the MCP or the data cloud. On the data cloud itself, we have done 30 plus sessions this year. So everything is uploaded on the YouTube channel. So you can go and find all these information. And also we have done, apart from the certification related bootcamps, we have done AMScript, SSJS, and few others. And Tim, thanks to Tim for coordinating on those SSJS, AMScript, and few other bootcamp series. So this series is for everyone who wants to learn the ins and outs of the Journey Builder. So it need not be specific to any certification, but these are all the fundamentals. Like if you already are working in the Marketing Cloud or if you're planning to work in the Marketing Cloud, these are all the things that you need to know about the Journey Builder. So we have divided this series into 3 parts. So one will be on the fundamentals. The fundamental series will be around like 7 to 8 sessions. And in the deep dive, we have around 10 sessions that are planned. We're working with the speakers and we're also lining up the few other topics. So this is to cover all the advanced features. All the out-of-the-box scenarios, all the features will be covered in the fundamental series, and all the additional features which we have to customize, let's say the custom activities or the integrations or any other app exchange activities that we integrate. So all this will be covered in the deep dive series. And hands-on sessions. So hands-on sessions, anybody has attended the AMScript bootcamp or the SSJS bootcamp or the Data Cloud bootcamp, you would know what hands-on sessions are. Hands-on sessions are more about like build with us sessions, wherein one of us will be driving and one of you will get an opportunity to build along with us. We will provide the access to the org. So while one builds in a live session, the others can follow. We cannot provide the hands-on orgs to each and everybody, but all of you can see how it is actually implemented. It will be very slow paced and detailed, so it's easy to follow as well. So I would like to get your inputs on the schedule here. Initially, we plan to have the sessions every Tuesday and the hands-on sessions on every Thursday. So would like to get your inputs. Please feel free to post them in the chat. If we schedule it, the topics to be on the fundamental or the deep dive sessions to be on every Tuesday and Thursday, and the hands-on sessions on Wednesday, sorry. So do you think it is a fast-paced series, or do you think you need more time in between to catch up? Would like to get your feedback. Depending on that, we will schedule. As of now, the fundamentals series is scheduled to be on every Tuesday, and the hands-on sessions are scheduled on Thursday. So if you think it is good to cover more, we can do every Tuesday and Thursday the session, and every Wednesday the hands-on session. You can let us know either in the chat or even after the session. You can reach out to me or Tim and let us know which one would you prefer. So we would like to go with what is the best option for everybody. We don't want to do it very aggressively as well, but if three sessions in a week seems okay, then we will go ahead with 3 sessions. So here's the schedule. And firstly, I would like to thank Tim for collaborating on this. So this is a collaborative event of Phoenix Marketers Group, Tim and myself. And these are the sessions lined up so far. So starting with the session today, today is Thursday, but all the rest of the sessions are scheduled on every Tuesday. So 13th, every once in a week it is scheduled. So we have other sessions lined up. So you can register to all these events on the Phoenix Marketers Group link. If you don't have the link, please let us know. We will share the link so you can find all the sessions that are published and you can register to them. And a few important things. So this session is going to be recorded, and you can find that on the YouTube channel at the MC Learning Camp, or you can also find using Trailblazing Together. And this is the link where you can register to all the upcoming sessions. And I hope most of you are already part of the Slack channel. If you are not part of the Slack channel, let me know. I will add you. If you can share your email address, I will add it. If not, you can also try using this URL to join in, and I will get the notification and I can approve. In case if you're still having some trouble getting added, you can reach out to me on my LinkedIn handle as well. And the hands-on sessions. So we want one of you to volunteer to be the builder each week. So for every hands-on session, Tim or I or somebody else will be driving the session. We will be guiding what needs to be done. And one builder will be actually doing the hands-on. They will log into the org, they'll follow the steps and implement that in the org. So if anybody is interested to be the builder, let us know. You can ping on the Slack, or you can connect with Tim over LinkedIn as well, or you can also fill out this form to sign up. So we are looking for one builder per each session. So it can be on a rotation basis. I think we covered most of the logistics. Any questions, please post them in the chat window. We will try to cover them at the end of this session. If we do not have enough time, we do have the session, the continuation of this session, the next Tuesday as well. We will cover the questions in that session as well. And in today's session and tomorrow's session, these are not tomorrow, sorry, no, on Tuesday's session, these are the features that we're going to cover. So what is a journey builder, starting with a beginner level perspective, what it is about, the different use cases that where journey builder can be used, and the type of journeys that we can build, the templates, the dashboard, an overview of the canvas and all the activities that are present, the entry sources, whatnot, everything related to the journey builder UI we're going to cover. So to start with a customer journey. So when you think of a customer journey, it can be a process of actions or process of steps the customer goes through whenever an interaction happens with a company or a brand. So let's say we're talking about the Salesforce journey. When we talk about the Salesforce journey, it will be about when we got introduced to the Salesforce, when we got the certifications or the milestones that we have achieved and so on. But in the Marketing Cloud context, when in relation with a customer and a company context, customer journey means all the interactions that a customers go through with a particular brand or a company or a product or service. So let's say, taking an example of an event. Now, take an example of the MC Square event. So I believe most of you know about the MC Square conference that is specific for the marketing users in India. So let's talk about that as an example. So for MC Square, if somebody is showing interest, they have signed up on a form, that can be an interaction that a customer or an attendee establishes with the event organizers. So upon that touch point, the event organizer can send out communications to the attendees at regular intervals, or depending on a event that is coming up, or to give insights about a speaker, or after a session, the summary of the session, and so on. So it can be about all the interactions that a customer, in this context, it can be an attendee, or if it is a college and student relationship, it can be the student. So the customer, the term keeps changing depending on the type of industry the marketing cloud is being used. And these touch points are all the actions that a customer takes up. So as a customer or a student or an attendee or employee, anybody, the touch points can be when they take an action. So that can be like clicking an ad, or downloading a white paper, or registering to an event, or making a purchase, or it can be anything that the customer takes. And the channels can be the email, the push notifications on the mobile, the in-app notifications, the SMSs, the advertisements, the landing pages, and so on. And these are all the main terms that one needs to know when we are using contact data, behavioral data, engagement data. These are the different kind of data that we refer. So when somebody is new to the marketing cloud context, this is for them to keep in mind. So when we say contact data, it is all about the employee or the student or the customer. It is all about their profile information. Behavioral data, it is about their interest. So what kind of products they're interested, or what time they regularly read their emails. Or engagement data means how they have been engaged with the product or the email, or with an interaction. It can be the opens of the email, or the clicks on the links, or the bounces, and so on. So coming to what is a journey builder, it is the Marketing Cloud's premier campaign planning and execution tool. So it can be used to automate all the interactions. It enables to design and automate campaigns through which the customers can be guided through a series of interactions. It is multi-channel. So using Journey Builder, we can create communications across multiple channels. It can be the email, the mobile, advertisements, and so on. And it is responsive. So depending on an action the customer takes, whether they have opened an email or not, or the changes that happens to their profile information, their behavioral information, depending on that, the journey can be, the path can be set, personalized to the specific customer or the subscriber. So all this can be automated within the Journey Builder. We will look into that in detail in the next few slides. And within the Journey Builder, we can test various channels, how each channel performance is, which channel is the optimum way to reach the customer. So we can analyze all these things within the journey. We can see the effectiveness of the journey as well, and then we can try to improve the journey steps that are followed within, or we can do the optimization within the journey itself. All this can be monitored within the journey. There are various tools that are available to monitor. So using those, we can optimize the journey further. And I'm not able to see the chat. Tim, feel free to stop me if in case there's anything like screen is not
Absolutely.
visible or anything. Thank you. And here's an example of a journey, how it looks like. A journey can be as simple as sending a single email to a customer or a set of customers. Let's say we have run an event, and then at the event, few people have attended and they have shared their details that they want to register for further communications. So we can get a list of all the attendees, feed them into a data extension, and then using that data extension, we can put them into a journey, and using the journey, we can send them some regular communications. It can be a mix of emails, mobile messages, and it can be scattered at different timings. Let's say after a week, we can send out one set of email communications, and depending on how the engagement has been, we can send another set of communication. And then depending on how their engagement or how what actions they have been taken, we can divert them through different path and different activities. So the first one is an example of a simple journey wherein from a data extension, the customers are fed into the journey, and then they were sent an email, and then few other steps happen. So we will look at each and every type of steps, these activities in detail in the next few minutes. And the next example is the complex journey wherein multiple steps, multiple paths, and multiple activities are included. This is I wouldn't call it as an advanced. I have seen many more journeys wherein a journey can include as many as 100 and more activities as well. So this is a simple example of an advanced journey. And these are all other benefits of the Journey Builder. So using Journey Builder, we can send out one-on-one messages. So as a customer, each customer is different, and each interaction by a customer is different. So let's say customer A interacts, makes a purchase at in the morning today, and customer B makes a purchase in the afternoon. So we cannot send the purchase confirmation messages to both of them at the same time. As in when the purchase happens, we should send out the communication. It should be instant. And each, depending on the behavior of the customer later on. So if they have opened the email or not, or if they have subscribed, signed up or not, depending on the actions that they have been taken, they should be sent through a personalized path. So customer A interactions are not the same as customer B's interaction. So they're all different. So each customer's interaction should be different. So in Journey Builder, we can check all these things. So how the customer data has changed, engagement is, whether they have signed up or not, depending on those attributes, we can route them through different paths. So for each customer, it is harmonized. So when we look at the Journey Builder, it is the main strength is one-on-one harmonization. So each customer flows through their own personalized path. In the previous example, we have seen two paths here. So depending on some of the attribute checks or some filter criteria, we can route each customer through different paths. Even in this, the second example, we have multiple activities, and at each decision activity here, there are routed through different paths. So depending on each customer's behavior and how their attributes are changing, how their profile is changing, they will be routed through different paths, and that way we can achieve one-on-one personalization kind of message interactions. And in the journeys, we do have the option to check for the goal achievement. So let's say we have we are doing a session, and the session is only limited to 100 members. So what we can say is the goal should be only for 100 total of the population, and then we can measure the success as well, and we can exit the contacts out of the journey depending on the goal achievement as well. And all this within the Journey Builder, we can build using easy drag and drop options. So in the next few slides, when I show you, you will understand how easy it is to create a journey. So it is it has a set of activities and controls that are available. We can simply drag and drop and arrange them in the canvas, and we can create the journey specific to the way to the type of interactions that the company wants to have. And it can include multiple channels, multiple wait periods in between, flow controls in between, so on. And here are some of the Journey Builder use cases where a Journey Builder can be used. It can be used in multiple ways. First, throughout the phases of the interactions, the first one is the awareness and acquisition. So if say no, we do not have the members, but somebody is interested. So somebody is visiting a website of a company and they're interested. So when they fill out the form, or when they make their first purchase, or through refer a friend, somebody refers a new person, that's where we can start sending out communications about the awareness of the brand or the company, and then encourage them to become the members or sign up for a specific newsletter or a membership and so on. So once they have made a purchase, they're officially signed up and they're customers or the members, then we have to retain them. We have to keep them engaged, maybe by sending them all the information about upcoming products or the new products that have arrived, or the new sessions that are in line, or the next steps up. Now, maybe if they have signed up for a specific product, we can say you can sign up for a paperless or auto pay, or you can subscribe and then get 20% off or something like that. And retention is the phase wherein we have the customers and they're now kind of loyal customers, and we want to keep them engaged. Or there are some customers who are like falling out, they're no longer engaged. We want to re-engage them by sending them re-engagement campaigns, or sending them some coupon codes to encourage them to make the purchase, or whether there is a birthday or any other special event, and keep sending the email so they don't forget about the brand, they're like still engaged. So there are multiple ways in which a journey builder can be used. And apart from this, there are other scenarios where journey can be used for the distributed marketing. Let's say the if the email can be accessed in the Salesforce using DM, then a journey needs to be created. So there are multiple other scenarios, but these are the regular use cases where we use the journey builder. Coming into the type of journeys. So there are three ways that we can create a journey, three types of journeys that we can create. One is the multi-step journey. Multi-step journey includes multiple activities, multiple channels as well. So we can send out the communications across email, SMS, across different paths, and it can be multiple steps, and it can be a complex or intermediate. And single send is when we just want to send out an email and be done with it. It can be over email channel or the SMS or the push notification. So it is simple, wherein we inject the customers into the journey, send them out one communication, and then exit them out. So the transactional send is used whenever there is a trigger. An event occurs which triggers the journey, and then they will be injected into the journey, and they will be sent out the communications that are included in this journey. The transactional journey example can be, let's say a person makes a purchase on a website. So the purchase details and the customer details will be injected into the marketing cloud, and then they can be injected into the journey, and further messages can be sent from within the journey. Journey Builder already comes with a specific type of templates. So in order, if we want to create any of the journeys that are already present, we don't need to recreate it from scratch. We can start out from these existing journeys and then customize this. We can build on top of this. We can add additional steps to these existing journeys. We can improvise it and use it. And here's a overview of how the dashboard looks. So this on the left pane, we have a list of all the journeys. In under the journeys, it is segmented by the single sends or the multiple sends, the transactional journeys. And in the folders, it is a way for us to organize. Depending on the structure, we can organize all the journeys. And here's a list of all the journeys that are available and the status of the journey. So each journey can be in the draft status, or when we activate the journey, it will be in the running status. And then when we stop it, we no longer want it to run, we can stop it. So depending on the status of the journey, it will be displayed here. And when we have set the goal on the journey, that will be displayed here. Goal and exit criteria, we're going to look at it in detail in the next few slides. And the information about the last modified and other information. And here's the place where we can search the journeys, filter, create new journeys, and so on. Events is the place where we can see all the events that are created along with the mobile app events and all the entry sources that are created. And here is an option to filter out the journeys. Let's say we have 100 plus journeys in the org and we want to filter out based on some specific criteria, then we can select this one and then select the criteria here. It is a multi-step journey or a single sign, and depending on the status, we can see if you want to check only the running journeys, then we can select that. And depending on the channel interactions as well, we can check. And tags, we can define, we can set the tags on the journeys. So it is easy to organize them and it is easy to search for them. And this is the goal attainment. When we have, this will be visible only for the journeys where the goal is set. So when that is set, all the summarized information will be displayed here in this section. And here are the navigation items, so the events and history. History is the place where we can check all the interactions of the journey for the last 30 days. So it can be for any of the journeys that is running. For the last 30 days, we can go back and see what by a given contact number, contact ID, what activities that they have flown through, whether they have received the email or not. If you want to troubleshoot a journey, we can go back and check in this section. Templates is the place where we have 9 templates that are readily available. We can start from that if we want to create a journey that is similar. System optimization is a place wherein we can see the efficiency of the journeys. So it will give a list of all the journeys which are doing well, and if there are any recommendations that are on the journeys, that will be provided there, and also any inefficient journeys information will be displayed in there. So journey history is the place where we can look at how the analytics of the journey for the last 24 hours or 7 days or 30 days and so on. So it gives a list of all the events that happen and by the contact key, and we can use some filter criteria to see to search by a specific contact ID or specific status and so on. We can also download this, and we can also any issues that happen with the journey. If we want to find out whether the contact has entered the journey or not, we can find that out using this journey history. I'll take a small pause here and let me know if there's any questions.
JB, there was a question about, there was a question about, can a contact exist in multiple journeys? We sort of answered it in the chat, but I wanted to get your perspective on the question as well.
Right, a contact can exist in multiple journeys. So it depends on how we inject the journey. The contact can enter into the journey through multiple ways. So if we want to, I have seen many scenarios where in a specific brand wants to have one customer on only one journey. So if that's the case, if you want to involve a customer in only one journey at a specific time, so we have to do some other additional we have to add some other additional activities in here. We're going to talk about it in detail in the next few minutes. So to answer the question, contact can exist in multiple journeys at the same time. So I have switched back. Thank you. So I have switched back to the UI. Can you confirm, Tim, if you're able to see this? The Marketing Cloud instance?
I can see you. Looks great.
Okay. Okay, so this is the dashboard, how it looks like. And as I have just shown in the slide, this gives a list of all the journeys that are in there. And any Salesforce data that is coming in, the journeys that are kicked off from that Salesforce data, they will be displayed here. All the transactional and all the journeys will be listed in here. And we do have an option to organize these journeys by the folders. And here's the list of all the journeys where we can click and we can go to that specific journey. This is the status of each and every journey. By looking at this dashboard itself, we'll get to know how many journeys are running or what's the performance of this. So how many contacts have entered. So this journey is running and 11 entries are there. And in the second journey, there are 2 entries. And we can search if there's a long list and we have to search. We can search by giving the name, by typing the name here. And if we have set any tags, this is disabled here because I haven't set any tags on this, on any of the journeys on this instance. So if any tags are there, then we can search by the tags as well. And we can filter by the type of journey and the status and the channels. And the tags are set then by the tags as well. And this is to check the performance. When this will be visible only on the journeys where the goal is set. So when it is set, it will show how much of percentage is attained. The place where we can check how the sends or how the contacts are processing through different steps. And these are all the readily available templates. And system optimization is the place where we will get all the information about all the journeys that are running, any recommendations provided, any optimization that can be made, inefficient journeys or inefficient custom activities or the events. And it gives a list of all the journeys and the configurations. This doesn't have any active sense, that's why it doesn't show up anything. But if we have an active instance, then it will show a list of all the recommendations, all the inefficiencies and many other information here. So I will go to the template section here. Let's look at a sample journey. So this is very simple journey wherein from a data extension, the journey is getting started. And you see here is the decision split. Decision split is one activity wherein we set some filter criteria and route the customer through different paths depending on whether they have met the criteria or not. So looking at this, if they have attended an event, this is like an event follow-up. So whenever they have attended an event, then we can send out the communication saying we thank you, or if they haven't attended, we can send out an email saying we missed you and these are all the resources that you can follow. So here also we can find the description of what this journey is all about. And then if we want to get started with this journey, what are the things that we need? So for this one, we need the data extension and we need 2 emails. So this is a great place that I would recommend for anybody starting to learn about Journey Builder at the very, very beginning stage. Then I would recommend going to this place and look at the existing journey and read the description of each journey is meant for, and then what is required for this journey. And just to talk about a journey at the high level. So why do we use a journey is we want to send out some regular communications at different cadence to the customers. So for that, what do we need? First thing is the list of customers we need. So that we say as the entry source. Entry source is place where we get the customers into the journey. It can be from multiple places. Let's say we have the list of customers already in the Marketing Cloud instance, we can take it as a data extension. Or if we have the customer signing up on the website through a landing page, so it can be from a landing page and we can use that, inject that into that journey. So it can be from multiple entry sources, not just the data extension. Data extension is the most commonly used one, but there are multiple other entry sources. So after the customer enters the journey, so we want to send out the communications. So after what type of communications we want to send? We may want to send out the email communications, or if they're not active on email, they're only active on the phone messages, SMS messages, then we can send out SMS messages. If not, we want to send out advertisements, so we can include that channel as well. So depending on that, we will have multiple channels. So these we call, these will come under activities. And under the activities also, there are different types. So we want to have a feature wherein we want to selectively send out the emails. So depending on some of the attribute, let's say they have attended or not. So these some of the activities are there which we can control the flow, saying if they have met this criteria, send out this communication. If they haven't met, don't send this, but send another kind of type of communication. So we can we can control all that behavior using the flow control activities. And also, let's say we have sent an email and they did not attend or they did not open the email yet, and we want to wait for 1 week and then send out another email. So we need to have some wait activities in between. So for that, we have wait activities where we wait by duration or wait by date or wait by event and so on. And let's say we want to check whether they have opened the email or not. If they haven't opened the email, then only send the next. If they have opened the email, then only send the next email. So we do have engagement activities there. So we have multiple types of activities that are available. So the next few sessions are going to be all about the different types of activities that are in here. So the entry sources, as I have mentioned, these are all the sources wherein the customer or a contact can enter into the journey. So data extension is just only one of the example, but there are multiple events, multiple ways that a contact can enter into the journey. So we will look at it in detail, each of them in detail. And also after the contact enters the journey, what happens to them? So we can send out the email or the inbox messages or the push notification or the NAP messages or the, if it is WhatsApp integrated WhatsApp messages or the session transfer or the SMS and so on. And if the advertising is connected and we want to send them or send the contact, add them as an audience for the Facebook or add them to a campaign, we can use these type of activities. And these flow control activities, so they determine the flow, how the contact goes through each and every path. So we want to send them to the path A, path B, depending on the criteria. These are all the different types of activities that are available. I'm just giving a high-level overview of these. We will look at it in detail. And customer updates, this is also important one, which we will be using very frequently to as a way to log the information, how a contact is going through different steps in the journey. We can use this activity to log those actions. And sales and service cloud are used when we have the Salesforce integrated, and then we want to take some actions within this journey on a Salesforce object. It can be a case, lead, or task, create a task, or update update any record in the Salesforce. So these are all the different activities that are available. Now let me switch back to the presentation. So this is the journey canvas that I have just shown. So wherein we have all the information about the journey. We can go back to the journey builder using this link. And here's the journey name. And we can also set the description for the journey, what this journey is all about, any other information that we want to have, we can save it here. And this is a small summary of what the journey is all about, the status of the journey and the versions, the activities, number of activities that are present within this journey, the created time, and what is the duration of the journey, how long the contact takes to exit out of the journey from the time they have entered. So it is just 1 day. So all this summary information is available here. And these are all the activities that are available. How we do is we just pull in this one and drag it to this one. So I have defined it as a data extension, but pull the audience. So that is not accepted. So I have to select the data extension here. So that's how we use these and we populate these ones. And we can also add a few more activities to here. If you want to add a decision split somewhere, we can add as well. And in here, there are some controls to undo and redo. And we will come to the versions part in a few minutes. Toggle is to just hide this off. And copy activity is when we want to copy a set of activities. Let's say this is the set of activities that we select. We copy it And then when we want to reuse this, we can just, if you notice this will be copied under this, copied and saved. So this specific set of activities will be available and we can use it anywhere. We can use it multiple times anywhere within the journey. And this is the place where we set the goal. Also, we're going to look at it in detail shortly. So this is for the goal and exit criteria and the journey settings. Journey settings is very important, wherein we determine if we want to allow the contact to re-entry or not. So the contact, if let's say they're just coming a one time, so they just needs to be sent out a birthday email, and then they're done with the contact, they don't need to re-enter again. So we can say no re-entry. Upon re-entering, they're exited, and after that, never again they're going to re-enter the same journey. Re-entry anytime is when we want a contact to enter the journey any number of times, regardless of whether they are already present in the journey. They will be able to re-enter again, even though if they are present in the journey. Let's say I, as a customer, go and make a purchase. A email will be sent out for the order confirmation. So when I make the purchase again, so the next moment itself, even if I am present in the journey, I should be sent an email again for the next order. So in that scenarios, we can use the re-entry anytime. Re-entry only after exiting is when we want a contact to re-enter only after they have exited out of the journey. So if they are in the journey, let's say they have the coupon code and they're already got the coupon code, and within the next 1 month we don't want to send them another code again, then we can say re-enter only after exiting the journey. And here's the place where we can define which email attribute can be used. So from the data extension, that from the data entry data, we can select what attribute can be used as the email for sending the email. If let's say in the data extension or in the entry source, we have multiple fields with email addresses, with email address type, we can, among those, we can select which one we want to use to send the email. If we want to use it from the contacts data, we can select this one. And similarly for the mobile, what attribute we want to use. It's from the entry source or from the contacts. If so, from the entry source, if there are multiple attributes with the mobile numbers, then we can select which attribute we want to use. And Google Analytics tracking is when we want to track when we have the Google GA integrated and we want this journey information to be tracked in there, we will enable this one. So now let's switch back to the presentation and see what are the different types of activities that are available. So this is the high level overview of the journey. And coming to the entry sources, how a contact enters into the journey, there can be multiple number of contacts. So that can be divided into the batch entry sources and the triggered entry sources. Batch entry source is when the contacts are fed into a list, like a data extension, and then they enter into the journey at a particular time, all of them together. So it can be a data extension. Taking the example of the event attendees, we can collect the emails and details of all the attendees and then create a data extension and use it as a entry source for the journey. So in that case, all the contacts enter the journey at the same time, whenever the journey runs or set to run. The GA360 is when we have the GA account integrated and we want to have those audiences admitted into the journey, then that's when we use the GA360, this one, entry source. And Audience Studio, when we have the Audience Studio and we want to admit those audience into the journey builder, we use this entry source. On Audience, this is only for the mobile only messages, only journeys. So wherein we want to have the list of all the mobile contacts enter into the journey in bulk, we use this audience, this entry source. And coming to the triggered entry source. So these type of entry sources, they inject the customers, the contacts, whenever an action happens. So this will be driven by the contact. So these will be driven by the schedule, by the by running the automation, or if it is a one time, depending on that, these batch entry sources will be contacts will be entered into the journey. But for the triggered entry sources, they will be injected into the journey as and when a specific action takes place. The API event. So whenever an API event happens, so through the API, whenever a contact takes a specific action, through the API kicks off, and then they can be injected into the journey. And when they enter the journey, they can be sent a different set of communication, different chain of communications further on. Cloud Pages. So whenever we have a smart capture form, like Cloud Pages set up, and a contact goes in and fills in their information, and we use this entry source, then all the contacts filling up that specific form will be added to a data extension, and then that will be used as the entry source for the journey. And Salesforce data, this is when we want, we have the Salesforce integrated with the Marketing Cloud instance, and any object changes in the Salesforce or any record created in the Salesforce, we can have them injected into the journey. And event is when the contact will be injected based on a specific date. Let's say we have a data extension, and then they have their birthday or some welcome date, a joining date or something. So depending on a specific date, we can inject that contact into the journey. So the simple example for this is the birthday journey, wherein we want to send out the birthday emails for everybody whose birthday falls on the same date. So only the contacts who match the specific date, they will be entered into the journey, and they'll be sent out the birthday email. And mobile app event. So whenever they contact and take specific actions in the mobile app, it can be a installation of the mobile app or purchase, so they will be entered into the journey. So push message event, so using this entry source, we can target the users whenever they have they open the push notification. An in-app message, so whenever they are taking some action on the in-app message, like they dismiss or they click on a button in an in-app message, so whenever they take that kind of action, they will be entered into the journey. An inbound chat, for the mobile messages, SMS messages, if they reply with a specific keyword, so they will be entered into the journey. Example can be, they say info, so they reply with the keyword info, then they can be entered into the journey, and they can be sent out an email or a further SMS message containing more information, and so on. So these are all the different kind of ways where we can kick off the journey. So let's say we have identified how the contacts should flow into the journey. So the next set of activities will be what we want to do within the journey. So these are all the type of messages that we want to send out. And these are all the available flow control activities that are available. And if we have the Salesforce integrated, what do we want to do? What do we want to do with the Salesforce data? Let's see each of them in detail. The entry, the messages is self-explainable, like the email, the SMS, in-app messages, the push notifications, if the WhatsApp is integrated, WhatsApp messages, and WhatsApp session transfer is when we want to transfer out the chat history and everything to another WhatsApp number. So these are all the different channels, how we want to communicate, how we want to engage the contact. And if the Advertising Studio account is integrated with the Marketing Cloud instance, we will see these options as well. By using the contacts within the journey, we can add them to the ad audience and send it, use them in the advertisement audiences. And we can also add them to the campaign and engage them in the campaign. Let's say the Facebook advertisements or any other channel integrated, like a LinkedIn or a Pinterest or Instagram. We can add these contacts within the journey to those campaigns. So these are all the different channels, how we can engage the contact. So first, how they are entering the journey is one part. After they're entering the journey, what kind of messages that we want to send, what kind of communications across the channels that we want to send. And then the next set of activities is all about controlling. So when do we want to send them? How do we want to send them? Why do we want to send them? So let's look at these in detail. So looking at these flow control activities, they can be divided into split activities, split wherein we are splitting out the audiences, the contacts into different paths. Let's say talking about the random split. Random split is where we will split the contacts randomly across two or whatever number of paths that we set. So let's say there are 50 contacts and we are randomly splitting it across two paths. It will be 25 and 25 randomly without any criteria meeting, criteria setting. Decision split is when we set the criteria and route the contacts depending on the criteria. So there are some split activities within these, and there are some weight attributes. If you see the last set of 7 activities here, these are all weight activities. So they will let the contact wait for a certain period or for a certain attribute until an event happens. So there are different weight activities available. And the ones that you see in blue are the Einstein activities. So if the Einstein is enabled in the instance, you will see these activities wherein we can control the communications. We can regulate the communications by using these activities. Now let's look at each of these in detail. The split activities. The split activities are mainly decision split, random split, engagement split, and join. Decision split is like we define some criteria. So based on an attribute, we set the filter criteria for that attribute. If let's say if it is true or false, we can say true, then go through this path, false, go through this path. We can set multiple paths as well. The random split, we randomly split the contacts through different paths. We can set up to 10 paths. Engagement split is when we want to track the engagement of a previous communication. Let's say we have sent out an email one day ago. The minimum should be 1 day wait period, because after we have sent the email, we cannot right away expect them to open and read. We should give at least some time in between. The minimum time is 1 day. So after 1 day, we can check the engagement, whether they have opened the email or not, clicked on any of the links, or whether the email has bounced or anything as such. And then depending on that, we can use that as a criteria. And depending on that, we can continue with the next steps. So if the customer has opened the email, then don't send any further communications. If they haven't opened, maybe then send out the SMS messages instead of the email. So we can decide depending on the engagement. The join is when there are 2 or more different paths and we want to join them, because the contact later on has to go through a similar kind of steps. All the contacts will go through a similar kind of steps. Then we can connect all the different paths into a single path again. So we use that join to reconnect all the paths together into one. So these are all the split activities that are available. And then coming to the wait activities, these are used to have the contact wait and by the time period, or until they send any chat message, or until a specific date, or until an event happens, or until an attribute criteria is met. So these are all the different type of wait activities that are available. So in the next sessions, so in the fundamental series itself, Tim and team is going to cover in detail about each and every activity, starting with the entry sources. We're going to cover about each and every activity that is present, and in the demo and in all the hands-on sessions as well, we will be using these activities and building out the journeys based on these. I will just give a brief overview of mainly used wait activities. So wait by duration is something which we mostly used in all the journeys. So by duration, that means we can set by the minutes, hours, or days, weeks, and months. And we can set the time period. If we select days, then how many number of days we want to hold. So in here, we can also select extend wait duration until specific time. So after they have waited, we want to send out, let's say the next activity is the email activity. We want to send the email only after 10 p.m. So then we can set extend wait period until specific time. So after they have finished this wait period, and we can say wait further until 10 p.m. If they have finished before 10 p.m., they will wait until 10 p.m. and then only proceed with the next step. Wait until date. If let's say the session is today and we want to send out the email communication only today, even the contacts who have entered the previous step 2 days before, they will wait and they have to receive the email only today. Then we will set wait until date, and we set the specific date saying this is so and so date and this is the time. Until that date and time, they will wait in that specific step and then only proceed. After this, they will proceed to the next step. And wait by attribute. So we can select an attribute. So it will be a date value. So based on that attribute, it will wait until that attribute is met. And after that, it will proceed to the next step. Wait until event. So any API event, we want to wait until that event happens. This can be used. So these are some of the mainly used wait activities. I lightly touched upon these, but in the next sessions, we will be going in detail, in depth for each of these activities. We will be doing, we'll be creating journeys as well. And the next set of activities are the Einstein activities. So these are used to split the audiences, the contacts, based on the scoring or the frequency. If you are aware of the Einstein features, then you will know about this frequency split and the scoring split. Send time optimization is when we want to use the predictions of the Einstein, and depending on the best time that they are going to read the message, we can send out the email. So when we use the STO, then the contact who reaches that specific step, they will wait until it is a good time for the contact to receive the next email. So if let's say a contact reads the email every day at 10 a.m. So it is the ideal time for that for the email to be sent to that specific contact. So Einstein STO determines the best time to send the message, and it waits until that time and then sends out the message when it is the best time. The frequency split, so based on the engagement of the contact. So some people, they don't want to receive communications too often also. So depending on their preferences, the frequency can be determined. And the next one is the scoring, depending on the segments. So it can be depending on their engagement, least engaged or they are very much engaged. Depending on that, we can use this activity and split the contacts across different bands. So I think we are at time. So I just want to take a pause here and see any questions. And I know there are many other things to cover. So that's the reason we have scheduled this session to be a two-part. The next Tuesday, we're going to look at the in-depth features. We haven't covered this validation, the testing of the journey, activation, and then creating different versions of the journey and creating the template of the journey. So we will look at these remaining features in detail in the next Tuesday's session. And we will also do a demo, like create a journey and see how it runs. So that will be covered in the next session. I will pause here and see any questions.
Yeah, JB, we've got a ton of questions. I know we don't have a lot of time left, but I can, depending on what you want me to, I could Slack them over to you so you have them for the next session. But it's been a really active group asking lots of fantastic questions, and thanks to the community for answering some of those questions along the way.
Yeah, we can definitely cover on the Slack, or else we can cover in the next session as well. So next session, I'll make sure that we cover everything. So today, we just want to stick to the time and also make sure that we have covered all the features. So next session, even if it extends a little few minutes over, we will be there and we will try to cover everything and also answer all the questions. So if you're on Slack, please Slack us. So I'll be creating a new channel, the Journey Builder 2024, and then we can keep the communications in that channel. And any questions related to the sessions or anything that is immediate and important? Please post them in the chat. I'll be there for a few more minutes and we can see if there's any urgent questions that we need to address. Okay, so I will send out, I will upload the recording at the earliest possible by tonight. And all the questions we will check on the Slack. And I really thank all of you for joining these sessions, and rest assured these sessions are going to be informative. So starting with today, we will be going in depth, and then coming all the other sessions, we're trying to add all the scenarios that in which Journey Builder can be used. If you have anything that you want to be covered, please let us know. I think we can call it a wrap. We will meet again on Tuesday around the same time, 8 a.m. Eastern. Thanks, everyone.